Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the May 2025 Olympic District Roundtable. Coming to you live via Zoom and from Camp Thunderbird. We'll go ahead and we'll get started like we do with every meeting, every roundtable, I should say. We'll go ahead and get started with the Scout Oath and Law and the Pledge of Allegiance, which I happen to have ready to go here on my handy dandy computer. We're going to give this a try and see if I need to do something a little different here. Oops, actually, I don't think I hit the right button. Sorry. Sorry, I'm gonna try that again. Oh, I think I hit the wrong button. I hit the wrong button. Now I can't see what I'm sharing. Okay, let's try it now. Okay.
Those in uniform, please salute. Those who are not, put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Excellent. Okay. Okay. So we'll get started like we often do, where we talk about some upcoming events and some announcements for the district. Normally we would talk about some safety moments, but the theme for tonight, in case you guys missed it, the theme for tonight is all about safety. So we're going to be talking all about a variety of different safety topics for scouting. So including some of the new training things that may have come out that you may have seen. So um, I'll start off by showing you guys. We're going to talk about the excuse me, with the um, sorry, we're going to start off with the council calendar. I'm having some computer issues right now. All right, so everybody should see the council calendar. Uh, and I hope that you guys go and check this from time to time so that you get an opportunity to see the upcoming events and what we have going on in the district and the council. This would be the place to go to find out what's going on, in addition to our Facebook page, which I hope many of you are a part of. So we will go ahead. We're coming up to the end of May here, so we'll go ahead and skip on over to June. So coming up next weekend, we have the spring ordeal coming up, and we also have Cub Scout Day Camp up in. It's listed in Tacoma. It's actually going to be up in Camp Curran, which is kind of in the Puyallup sort of area out there in Pierce County. So that's a great opportunity for folks if you want to get your Cub Scouts out into the world, doing more activities. This is a great opportunity to get started on some of those electives. It's going to be a great time, and I recommend you sign up if you get a chance. And if you have Cub Scouts that are interested in going, we will have the one there in Tacoma on. It'll be the evening of the 6th and the day of the 7th. Same thing. We'll do it down here in Olympia or in the Greater Olympia area in the Olympic District, over at the Rutledge Corn Maze, on June 20th into the 21st. And also, there's a neat little event here on June 14th. This is the All Aboard Sea Scout for a Day event over in Tacoma with Ship 110 over there, giving an opportunity for Scouts BSA and venturing aged youth to learn what it's like to be part of Sea Scouts. And it's kind of a big recruiting event for them to learn about what Sea Scouts is all about. So if you have youth who are interested in learning more about the Sea Scout program, then that would be a good opportunity to do that. I see there's a question in the chat about shooting. Are we gonna have shooting sports at the day camp and summer camp? And the answer, unfortunately, let's see if I don't think Darren is still in the meeting. I think he has probably stepped out already, unfortunately. So, unfortunately, I don't have the answer to that question right now. I presume that we will because many of you may have seen some things on Facebook about a week and a half ago where National issued a safety stand down to all range and target activities at all council properties across the U.S. because of an incident that happened out at the summit where with a non-scouting group where a non-scouting participant was injured. But my understanding is that in order to get range and target activities going again, all the councils need to do is to complete a checklist and then send that checklist over to National saying that they have done the steps that are on that checklist. I'm not currently sure where we are at with that process, but I presume that we will have everything squared away in time for summer camp in July if we don't have it in time for the day camps in June. So I will follow up with the professional staff on that, and I will see if we can't get an answer to that and post it on Facebook tomorrow, and see if we can't post it out via the council email server as well. But that's a great question. Thank you. The other thing I forgot to add, if you guys don't mind, if you could please add your unit number and type into the chat. That helps me for attendance when I go to review the chat later. It helps me do a little bit easier job there. Okay. Other activities we have going on in June is we have the golf tournament on June 27th. So if you would like to sponsor a team or would like to register as an individual, there are certainly still spots available for that. And then we will also have the 2025 popcorn rally on June 28th. Big kickoff event for popcorn to get everybody excited about popcorn, give everybody a chance to try some new popcorns that we're going to be having this year and everything. So it's a great opportunity. It'll be up in Tacoma. We'll click on that one and we'll see. That will be at the Blue Mouse Theater. So this is so if you would like to go, please make sure that you register in advance. It looks like we are holding registrations at no more than 150. So if you would like to attend, please make sure you register to go. They're going to be having everybody have a chance to try some popcorn. They will have they'll be showing a movie there. It's going to be a good time. Looking ahead into July. We have summer camp going on, so there are still spots available for folks that are looking at Cub Scout age to participate in our resident camp for Cub Scouts. We do still have openings available on session 1, which is July 10th through the 13th, session 2, which is July 17th to the 20th, and July session 4, which is July 31st through August 3rd. So those are all still, there are all still slots available for that. One of the things we've changed this year, we edited the hours that we're going to be having folks on camp. So that way you are not required to have a Part C form, which is super helpful for a lot of folks, because I know a lot of folks were kind of struggling to get that Part C knocked out. So if you have families who are interested in signing up and going, just make sure you let them know they are not required to have a Part C. In addition to that, if money is an issue, we do have scholarships available to be able to attend resident camp as well for the youth. So highly recommend that you take this up. This will be a great opportunity, and we are going to have a great time. And I will probably be out there periodically throughout camp. So any questions on a resident camp? Okay. And we also have a couple more events coming up in in August that I wanted to get it on everybody's radar. We have our wood badge course that'll be August 20th to the 24th. This will be a territory level course, so we expect to have folks from all across our council service territory, including all of Washington, Oregon, Idaho, parts of Montana, Alaska, excuse me, and the Far East Council. So we expect to have folks from all over the region. So this would be a great opportunity if you guys are looking for a chance to meet people from all over the country and the world, in some cases, hopefully. This would be a really cool opportunity. It will also be a week-long course. This will be the first week-long course we've done in a while. And again, if money is going to be an issue, we do have scholarships available for folks that need it. And then we also should have NYLT on the calendar there somewhere. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Sorry, NYLT also for the youth. National Youth Leadership Training will be June. Yeah, we're in June 22nd to the 28th. So highly recommend that if you have youth that are first class, this is a great opportunity for them to learn ways to expand their leadership skills. So highly recommend anybody sign up for NYLT that is looking for opportunities like that. Any questions on any of the upcoming events? Okay. Anybody out there in the wide world of the internet? One thing that I'm seeing in the chat that Corey Ann wanted me to mention for the OA ordeal, we are coming up on the limits of how many participants we can have for the ordeal in June. So if you are planning on attending that one in June, please register as soon as you can before all the spots fill up. Thank you for that, Corey Ann. All right. Any other questions, comments? I'll take a joke. Does anybody have a joke? Okay, cool. Well, I also would like to take this time, and we'll go ahead and jump into the main theme of our of the roundtable this evening, talking about the recent changes to what was formerly known as youth protection training, which is now known as safeguarding youth training, as well as incident reporting, when to do incident reports, what kind of incident reports are there out there, and how and when you should do them. I also would like to take this opportunity to welcome one of our guest speaker with us, Wendy. Wendy, you want to say hi to everybody?
Hello, sorry, let me adjust the sun keeps shifting, so I don't know if you can see me very well. Since I've retired, it's been a long time since I've done a Zoom meeting, so good evening.
Okay. And Wendy, please remind me again, because I don't want to get your title wrong. Please remind me of your actual official title on the board.
A youth protection champion.
Okay. I wasn't sure if they had updated it given the new
it could be. That could happen.
Okay. Yeah, it's very sudden changes. That's why we kind of wanted to talk about this with everybody. and everything. So, Wendy, why don't you kind of explain to everybody what it is you do and kind of how you help safeguard our youth?
Okay, my position on the, can you still hear me?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
On my side, it looks like my video's paused, but my position on the council is Youth Protection Champion, and it's my job to help disseminate information down and to help advise the council on any situations that might have further repercussions. Does that sound up? I'm just basically a go-to. I'm retired now, but I have 29 and a half years in law enforcement. So it gives me a little bit of insight into some of the ways we evaluate incidents. And then the rest of it is just participating in assessing and disseminating information.
Excellent. No, I appreciate that. Yeah. It's a very important role we have you fill in. We appreciate that.
So you've mentioned that we have instead of youth protection training, we are now doing safeguarding youth training. And I don't know if you have if you guys normally do the Aaron on Scouting updates, if you get the emails and read those, he had a great little blurb about it. But the main emphasis on our safeguarding youth training now compared to youth protection training is it isn't just about protecting against, or it's not just about spotting abuse. It gives more information on how we can empower youth and ourselves and our other leaders to prevent any harm from coming to children. We're using the SAFE initiative, and the acronym SAFE is supervision, assessment, fitness and skill, and equipment and environment. And what I took away from the new training is I found it far more engaging. After having watched the old one for I don't know how many years every year, I felt like it covered a lot more in depth on topics such as youth on youth abuse, which, as you may or may not know, is one of our biggest factor in incidents that occur throughout scouting. If we have an incident that occurs, it's not generally adult on youth, it's youth on youth. And this new training just makes us more aware. And one of the real targets that I think all scout leaders should really take from it is the fact that though scouting is youth led, it is supervised by adults, and adult supervision is vital to making this organization a safe place for children to learn and grow into the leaders we hope they can become. You will be required to take the training once. If you already have taken YPT for the year, you won't be required to take the safeguarding youth training until your youth protection training expires. But we really encourage all adult leaders, all adults participating in scouting, to take the new training, find out the new information. It's going to help you become a better leader, make you more aware of what to look out for, help you to watch for dynamics of power imbalance, and give you more specific guidelines on what to do when you see incidents of, for example, bullying. I just think it's a very, very well done training. And for everyone who's taken youth protection in the past, you're going to take this training and think, wow, this is so much better gives me so many more tools. And after that, they are talking at National about once you take that the first time, then you will be getting updates on the following years, that if you do that within the timeline before your training expires, that you will just be able to do these 30-minute refreshers that will hit on all the incidents that we've had recently, and what changes we're making to prevent that, because that's what we're here for, is to give our children, the youth, the safest path to becoming good leaders and empowering them to make those safe choices, empowering them when they go to college, when they go into trades, into the future, to keep themselves and others safe. And National is really doing a great job at targeting on the issues that we're seeing recently, and they'll continue to do that to make sure that we work with the best set of tools in our toolbox to ensure safety for everyone.
That's great. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Wendy? You guys are a quiet bunch today.
And there's not really, it's hard without seeing it. I can just tell you that I've heard a lot of people who say, oh, I dread taking the YPT. It's just so hard to watch over and over these instances of abuse. It's almost traumatizing to watch the videos. And this new training really, I think, takes it to really involves you in how you can be the barrier to protect and empower youth.
Yeah. I think I'm really excited to see this change in the training. I think we've kind of been past due to update the training, because training hasn't been updated in several years.
5 years, I think, 5 or 6, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
I was gonna say, yeah, 5 or 6 sounds probably reasonable. I honestly don't even remember when the last time it was updated was, but 5 or 6 is probably reasonable. So yeah, I think it's good. And it also, hope this kind of is the change that we as a council have been kind of anticipating for the past several years. So ever since we passed the board resolution requiring our adult scouters to have the annual YPT training. So this is kind of the change we've been gearing everybody up for. So
I also think.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I also think this works hand in hand with some of our other recent changes, such as all adults in scouting have to be registered in some capacity. Obviously, that does not apply to Cub Scouts, where family members can still go on outings with their youth, their personal family members, as long as when they're around other youth, they're always with a supervised, with an adult who has training, an adult leader.
Yeah. Yeah. Has anybody had a chance to take a look at the new training yet?
Probably a lot of people didn't know it was out. It's only been out, what, a week?
Week or two. Something
Yeah.
like that, yeah.
I've had a chance to. First thing I noticed was that it was more written for the troops rather than the Cub level.
Yeah.
And that really freaked us out when we found out, or got to the part about camping with your scouts, because it specifically said parents and guardians of the same sex rather than parents, and guardians of the same sex for Cubs.
Yeah, one thing I did see out there in Facebook land is that National, I think, has acknowledged that that was a typo on the video, uh,
Yes,
and they've referred folks back to the guide to safe scouting. So
Yeah, we had
yes,
already had that cleared up after we figured that out.
yeah. Um.
one of the things you'll also notice when you start the training is that you're going to be asked to upload a picture if you are a registered adult in scouting, so that people can identify a face and a name.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm personally, I'm going to be kind of be curious to see how that will be implemented moving forward. You know, how we're going to like actually like are we going to be like checking people's registration against their face, kind of thing when we go to like meetings and stuff, or is that going to be an expectation? I'm obviously they haven't said anything, so I'm just kind of thinking out loud. And I've had a picture on my profile for a long time anyway, but that's just because anytime I log in to set up an account somewhere and I see, oh, put a picture here, I'm like, oh, put a picture here, I guess. Yes, Corianne.
So Wendy, when we were out at Trailblazers, we had an entire discussion with a lot of the scouters, and we were talking about how we'd like to see more unit level or district level training of youth on youth protection. Do you know if that might be implemented in the next couple of years? Because there's been talk, that we've heard bubbling up that it's going to be a requirement for some of the older youth. I know it is for NYLT, for summer camp stuff and stuff like that, but we'd like to see more people taking that program. What would you recommend?
Oh, Wendy, you are muted.
Sorry. That is a work in progress. It is something I personally feel very strongly about too. I think because that's one of the main drivers of, we don't get many incidents in scouting due to our layers of protection. However, generally, if we do, it's youth on youth. And I think that the goal is to get that training out there for all scouts, regardless if they're working at a camp or not, because right now that's what it is NYLT, or if you are working at a camp. So I can just tell you it's in progress, and I know that Andrew feels really strongly about it also. So hopefully soon.
Thank you for the question. Okay. Does anybody else have any other questions about that little section of it? Before we dive on into the other part of sort of half of the presentation. Okay. See none. I'll share my screen again. Oh, and also, in case you guys didn't see, in the chat I put the link that Wendy was referring to from Aaron on Scouting. So this is a handy website that you can go to on scouting.org under Scouting Safety and Safety Moment and under Incident Reporting Helps. So this is a page you can go to if you want to learn more about when you should do an incident report, what sort of incident reports are out there, and when you should do like a near miss report. So talking to Darren, because Darren and Andrew kind of review most of these when they get submitted by folks in our council, and anybody can do one. If you see something at a unit event, you can fill one of these out or talk to one of the professional staff and they can help you fill it out. You don't need to feel like you have to fill out a lengthy form or anything. If you don't feel comfortable filling out a form, you can talk to either one of the DEs or Darren or Andrew, and they can help you with this. But basically, As it says here, there are basically three different types of reportable incidents. A near miss, which a near miss is one that does not result in injury, illness, or damage by definition, but it had the potential to do so. General liability events or allegations of injury, illness, or property damage, including employment, director, and officer issues. And finally, youth protection and membership infractions, allegations of abuse, violations of Scouting America guidelines or policies, or inappropriate behavior by a scout, scout leader, parent, or other, anything sort of related, right? So an example of like a near miss would be like if you guys were out camping somewhere and you had like a tree branch fall in your campsite, but it didn't hit anybody, it didn't hit anything, but that could be an example of like a near miss of like, oh, we should have checked the trees overhead to make sure there wasn't branches hanging down, kind of thing. You know, that would be an example of like a near miss. A general liability claim would be something like if you guys were traveling to a scouting event or like summer camp or something, and you get involved in a vehicle accident and someone gets injured in the accident. That would be a good example of a general liability thing. Now, one of the things I do, because I've been answering a lot of questions from some other commissioners and some of the unit leaders and stuff lately about scouting insurance. And one of the things that I wanted to kind of put out there about the scouting's insurance policies is that scouting's insurance policies is always secondary to an individual's own personal policy. So, for example, if you are taking a bunch of scouts to summer camp and you get involved in a vehicle accident, the damage to your vehicle, you need to report that to your own insurance first. And then your insurance company will process the claim as they do, as it's written in your policy. And then if there's any additional damages or coverages that are not being covered by your insurance, then Scouting's insurance can help make up the difference there. Scouting's insurance is not going to be primary on like the primary one. You're not going to go file an insurance claim with Pacific Harbors Council or Scouting America or something like that. Like if you get involved in that, like you can still file one of those claims in addition to filing a claim with your own insurance, but it will always be that secondary level to help support you. That's something that comes up a lot because a lot of people get confused and get kind of concerned about like, oh well, is scouting going to help me if I get hurt with a bunch of kids, or if my youth gets hurt, is scouting going to help me? And the answer is yes. But you need to also make sure that you're carrying your own insurance policy and don't just assume that scouting's insurance policies are going to cover everything, right? And then this third sort of reportable incident is youth protection or membership infraction. So these are things that would be, this is a much broader topic. So if you find somebody doing something at a scout meeting that you feel is inappropriate or is not in keeping with scouting values, that would be something that would be what kind of falls into this youth protection and membership infraction. So that's a little bit of a broader sort of topic. So it's important that we report these incidents, especially with the near misses, because National does review the near misses and uses those as like teaching tools to help guide future safety training of like things that could have happened and that didn't, fortunately. And like, so identify potential causes there so that we can make sure that these things don't sort of happen in the future. When do you need to report an incident? Those incidents need to be reported within 24 hours of when the incident or injury has happened. So like once things have kind of calmed down, you need to make sure you file that incident as soon as possible. And it's also important that the incident reports are filled out as completely as possible. This helps bring some clarity and helps avoid unnecessary calls or emails for additional information. Photographs of the site, facilities, vehicles, or equipment can add value to the report. Remember to only include pertinent facts about the incident. Do not assign blame or include personal opinions. Stick to the facts. That is really important because a lot of times people want to share their opinions. about what they think might have been a contributing factor. But it's really important when you're just reporting, you just need to tell them what happened. Let somebody else figure out the root cause of it. Okay. So there's a couple of important resources on the bottom of this page. And also here, before I forget, let me drop this. I'm going to drop this link to this page in the chat so everybody can have it. I'll also, for anybody who's watching this video after the fact, I will make sure these links are in the YouTube link, the YouTube comments, as well as the Facebook video comments as well on the district page. So the next thing here, I actually really like this one here, the incident near miss reporting infographic. So this is a one-page document. It just kind of shows like when you would want to fill out a report, and it's kind of it's an incident reporting tree. So you follow down the chart and figure out whether or not you need to fill out an incident report. So you start at the top. Is someone hurt? Yes or no? And then you just follow it down from the top down. So if someone hurt, is it a fatality or catastrophic? If yes, immediately call the Scout executive and submit a report. If no, is it beyond Scout rendered first aid? If yes, submit a report. If no, document the incident. Report submittal is optional. If no one was hurt, is there property damage? Yes, submit a report. Is it a near miss? If it is a near miss, you need to either think about whether a near miss report is required. So if it is, then you should. But it's always important to remember that even if it's not like necessary, you filling out a near miss report is strongly recommended. And like at the bottom here, it says, based on your answers, choose which reporting tool is needed to document your incident, then submit to your designated user or online. So those reports can be submitted to your DE. In our case, it would be Tyler. It could also go straight to Darren. You can also submit it to Andrew if need be, but I would recommend starting by submitting to Tyler, and then let Tyler decide where it kind of needs to go from there. So the other resource that's on this page is really helpful. This is all things incident reporting. So this is the Scouting America incident reporting landing page. So like Wendy was saying earlier, safety is the most important thing that we want to make sure we ensure in our program. We want to make sure that the youth are safe, the adults are safe, and that everybody else is safe. Because if we want to make sure that we're giving a safe environment for everyone to learn, right? So obviously, for most of you, this top one is not the one we need to go to, because this is for the professional staff. The one that most of us are probably going to end up going to is going to be this one right here. And one of the things that when I was talking to Darren about this today, that he wanted me to make sure to let everybody know on, there is a fillable PDF that can be used for filling out these forms that is used in incident reporting. That is the recommended method, because if you go here to the online tool for the public facing tool, that goes direct to national, and like our staff makes it a lot harder for them to ask like clarifying questions and follow up information and anything else they might need on their end for reporting. So it's recommended that you do the form and then submit it to one of the professional staff to let them handle the actual submittal and everything. Oh, here we go. There's also some really important facts on this page here that I like. So they define what a near miss incident is. A near miss incident refers to a situation in which an event or series of events occurs that could have resulted in accident, injury, property damage, or other negative outcome, but due to fortunate circumstances or timely intervention, no actual harm or damage occurs. Near misses with clear lessons learned can be brought to light, can bring to light opportunities to improve safety performance and program practices. So it's really important to do those near miss ones. I like this example too that they give. Imagine riding your bike down a hill and almost hitting a big rock. You quickly stop and steer away, avoiding the crash. That's a near miss incident. You almost had an accident, but you stayed safe by acting fast. Oh, and this is another important thing because you will often hear in scouting safety guides and things that they refer to scout rendered first aid. Um, Scout rendered first aid is, and this is kind of what defining what that means. Scout rendered first aid is limited to basic medical interventions that scouts are trained to perform. Anything beyond these basic actions required, or any actions requiring advanced medical knowledge or equipment, would be considered beyond the scope of scout rendered first aid. So, like things like band-aids, maybe some over-the-counter medications, like those sort of things would be scout rendered first aid because those are the things we have trained our scouts to do. So those are sort of the level of medical training that we expect people to administer. If you need to do a level of training higher than that, then we expect a report to be submitted. And obviously a really common example for a time when an incident report needs to be submitted is if we call 911, right? That is obviously a very clear, cut and dry, like, yeah, if you call 911, you need to be submitting an incident report. So let's go to the one, we'll focus on this one, the one focus navigating incidents resources for units. So step one, the first thing you need to do anytime a situation happens is make sure that everyone involved is safe. So you need to conduct a rapid assessment to identify any potential injuries or hazards, provide first aid as needed, and seek medical help promptly. If necessary, call 911 immediately. If the situation warrants, move individuals to a safer area and mitigate immediate risks. Now, one of the things I highlight here in the bold and italicized is if immediate assistance is needed in the handling of a sexual abuse allegation, contact the Scouts First Helpline, and there's the number 1-844-SCOUTS-1. So another thing too that you will also notice if you go through the Guide to Safe Scouting and go through the training is in the event of an immediate thing like that, you also need to make sure you call 911 and report it to the local police as well. Step two in this process is grasp the full situation. So you need to make sure you gather as much information about what's going on and figure out what has happened. And if youth are involved, you need to make sure that you would inform the parents and guardians of the situation as soon as you can. Obviously, that might be a little more difficult when we're in situations like in the backwoods and stuff, but you need to try to notify them as best you can, as quickly as you can. Step three is to document the incident thoroughly. You need to make sure you document the who, what, where, when, and why. Construct a timeline that outlines a sequence of events leading up to and following the incident, and include the names of all individuals involved and detail the actions taken to address the situation. And you can enhance this if you have any photographs of the scene and witness statements. You need to also notify the local council, which we've already talked about, and then follow up. So this is the next part here is listing out basically what sort of information we expect you to gather, basic information, date and time of the location, where it happened, your name and contact information as the report filer. Nature of the incident, involved individuals, description of the incident, witness statements, injuries or damage, and the immediate response contributing factors. So anything that might have led up to this. So like if you had an injury involving an axe, like maybe you didn't tape off the axe yard properly, maybe the axe was dull, something like that. Follow-up actions, describe anything you did afterwards, and photos if you have them. So this, you'll notice here are and then at the bottom of the page here are these forms. So this is the incident reporting tool form. So this is the general liability one that we talked about. The next one here is the youth protection and membership infraction tool notification. So this is that we talked about. And finally, here is the near miss incident information reporting tool. So again, very similar. And this one's only one page, unlike the other two that are 2 pages. So I know I kind of breezed through some of that. Does anybody have any questions or any insight on any of this? Has anyone ever had to fill out one of these forms or help fill out one of these forms? Oh, yes, Corinne.
Oh, nothing. I was just raising my hand that I've had to fill one out before.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes. I have also participated in filling out some of these forms, partly in my role as commissioner, but also partly in my role as a occasional camp medic. So I've also had to provide a lot of scout rendered first aid over the years. um, does anyone have any questions or any thoughts on any of the information I've presented here? Is any of this information new for anyone? Is anybody out there?
As we talk about safety, are there any things that you think that units are often overlooking in carrying in their unit first aid kits or in their gear when they're going to summer camps?
I think one of the things that I see a lot is the health forms, right? A lot of people kind of overlook the health forms, and a lot of people don't recognize the significance and the importance of the health forms. And a lot of people just kind of breeze through them, and they're like, "Oh, whatever. I guess it's dumb." And this actually happened a couple of times at a recent event where I was working as camp medic for, where I had to actually call the parents of the youth because they checked a box saying no to over-the-counter medications because they misread the form. And so I had to actually call the parent and be like, "Hey, I know it's 10 o'clock at night. I'm sorry to do this, but is it okay if I give your child some Tums because they have an upset stomach?" Yeah, and they were like, "Why are you calling me about this?" I'm like, "Because you checked no on the health form, saying that I could not give this." One of the things that I would really encourage people to do is take your time and try to read through the medical form thoroughly as you're filling it out, and make sure that everything that you would like to see for a level of care delivered to your child is clear and accurate on there. Because I feel like a lot of people just kind of overlook it and don't pay much attention to it. And I've also been on outings where, like, I was the camp medic and I go to talk to the leaders about their health forms because they have a youth who's complaining of an injury, and I need their health form so that I can review their medical history. And they did not have their medical forms with them. And that was a shocking revelation. Because one of the things is that one of the things we talk about with the health forms is that you should have the health forms with you at all times when you're doing scouting stuff. That includes unit meetings as well, technically. So somebody should know where the health forms are when you guys are having unit meetings in the unlikely event that something happens and you need that form. And another thing I've seen a lot is that people are like, "Oh, well, we just keep them on a flash drive." Please don't do that. I know it's tedious and I know it's annoying to have to carry them around in a binder or in a folder or something, but for ease of sharing with healthcare professionals and first responders, the paper copies are crucial because yeah, like, so for example, if I responded on my ambulance to a scouting event and you hand me a flash drive and tell me, "Oh, the kid's medical records are on that flash drive," I can't access that flash drive on my computer that's on my ambulance because we cannot plug external devices in there. And if we do, they don't show up as something we can open. So that health record does me no good. And a lot of hospitals and things will probably have similar policies because of their IT policies. They're not allowed to connect external devices to their own internal computers because of safety concerns. So it's really important to have paper copies of those forms. As for things to carry in your first aid kit, it's really important to make sure you tailor your first aid kit to the level of medical training that you have yourself, the number of participants you have going on an outing, and the type of environment that you're going into. So, for example, in the summertime, you probably need to pack more water. In the wintertime, you need to pack some warm, drying things so that you can keep people warm and dry. So those would be, I just make sure you guys are reviewing your health, your first aid kits. If you do have anything like Tylenol, ibuprofen, and stuff in there, make sure that it's up to date. It's not expired. Please don't give anybody expired medications. Is it going to hurt them? No, more likely than not. It's not going to hurt them. But what happens is when the medications are expired, they become less effective and they are less useful. So that two Tylenol you take for that headache might not be as effective anymore if the Tylenol is expired. So it's important to make sure that everything is up to date and in good repair. So if you keep like some bandages and stuff that are in your first aid kit and the packaging is all torn and tattered and sunburned and things, then probably need to replace those because those band-aids and stuff might not be as effective. So that's one of the things that I would recommend. Does anyone have any other questions? Okay. Wendy, do you have any insight on the incident reporting guidelines and things?
Oops, sorry. No, not any insight, just that National tries to make it as easy as possible to make reports, and they are read. I mean, there's no report that you would submit that wouldn't have more than one person reading them. So we learned quite a bit from near misses, etc. So though it takes time, it can prevent other people from being injured, other youth from being injured on your near misses. The next time could be a potential fatality depending on what it is. So every time you do that extra step, it just helps keep all the other kids safer.
Excellent. I agree. Thank you for that, Wendy. Okay. So unless anybody else has any questions, I'm going to go ahead and probably wrap this up for the evening. Thank everybody. Thank you all for coming tonight. I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your Wednesday evening. Please also share this with your scouting friends and invite them to come to future roundtables because we really would like to see people show up to roundtable because this is a great opportunity to learn things and have a good opportunity to talk to people and learn new insights to help you be more effective and have a more fun and safe program out there. And then keep an eye out, guys. Our next roundtable will be on a date that is hard to find on my calendar. Our next roundtable will be June 25th. That one we will probably end up needing to do virtually because that is the week of NYLT. But I appreciate
John?
everyone. Oh, yes, Wendy, go ahead.
Before we leave, can I just ask, so how does camp look? How does the water look?
Oh, camp looks okay. I can't see the water from where I'm at in the office, but
I mean, how's it going? How's everything progressing? Is it fabulous?
I presume it's fabulous. I haven't personally walked down to the waterfront since in a little
What?
while, so
I hear that it's looking really great down there, and I can't wait till the next time I can go see it.
yes,
So exciting for the Cubs to get to use these new camp
yes.
improvements.
I know we used some of the waterfront at least during Trailblazers camp, I believe. 'Cause we had the waterfront open for that, so we had folks that were working on some of their trail to first class swimming requirements and things. So,
Well, that's so exciting. Can't wait.
so we might even a little birdie told me we might even have more exciting things coming to the waterfront, but they're secret things.
I might have heard about a few of those things too.
Yeah.
So makes you want to be a Cub Scout again.
Oh yes. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you everybody. I hope you guys have a good evening, and we will see you all next month.